Hi folks, Mike here from Random Acts of Cooking, and I've just finished using the last of the brisket and cooked brisket in the freezer, so it's time to cook another one. And I've got a huge brisket. It was just a shade over 17 pounds. I've trimmed the usual few pounds or a couple of pounds of hard fat off of it, and it's still pretty big, so I'm going to try something that I hope doesn't ruin it. Well, let me show you. Okay, here's the 17, maybe around 15 pounds, a little less than 15 pounds of brisket that I've trimmed the majority of the hard fat off, but it's still pretty heavy to lug around. So before we get started, I'm just going to let you know that I got a little bit of the Black Ops brisket rub. I'm going to finish that up on it, but to make this easier, I'm going to cut it up. And I hope this doesn't ruin the whole thing, but I'm just going to say, let's cut it in half first, this way. Alright, that's my first cut. I've got the flat, I got the point. Still pretty heavy, so I'm going to do one more cut. I'm going to take this flat and cut the flat in half. Alright, there's half a flat. There's the other half a flat, something I can physically handle. Trying to get that little piece of hard fat off there. Okay, so there's my two flat halves. I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to take this point, which is really the heaviest portion, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to, let's see, which way do I want to go? Which way do I want to go? I know there's going to be a hard fat pocket right here. So I'm going to go this way with it, because I think if I go this way, I'm going to end up with just a chunk of meat here that's separate. I'm trying to keep them together. Alright, I'm just going to go for it and cut it this way. Yep, I've got this little pocket of hard fat. I'm going to trim just a little bit of that off. This portion, yeah, there's a bit of hard fat right there. Get some of that off. Okay, that's all I'm going to trim them, because this is going to cook a long time at a low temperature. Alright, that's that. Now, all I'm going to do is rub a little mustard on this as a binder, and then I'm going to put the Black Ops all over it, so you don't need to watch that, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I've got my brisket mustarded, seasoned, coated with the Black Ops brisket rub, and hermetically sealed in saran wrap or cling wrap. And one of the reasons I cut it in this position or these portions is after a brisket is cooked, this is the way I usually cut it anyway, because I take these and I'll cut it a couple of chunks, maybe cut that in half, and that's going to get vacuum sealed and frozen. And this just also will allow me to put seasoning on more of the edges and get some more smoke coating around those cut edges for all of these pieces. So anyway, that's one of the reasons I kind of did it like this. So these 4 hermetically sealed hunks of brisket are going to get put in the fridge overnight. This is Friday afternoon, and these are going to get put on early Saturday morning for a low and slow. And I'll probably use the Camp Chef pellet cooker, so I can just set the temperature and go, and I don't have to worry too much about it. So that's all for now. In the fridge. See you tomorrow morning. Later. Alright, I got my Camp Chef Smoke Pro preheated on high smoke setting, which is going to be around 220. I got my 4 hunks of brisket, so and my smoke tube smoking. So we're just going to get these on here. I'm going to attempt to get them fat side up for now. And hopefully we can get all these put on there very well. Alright, I gotta rearrange some stuff. I'll be back. Okay, I had to rearrange things there a little bit. I got my smoker tube up here, the 2 flats here, the 2 point pieces here. I got a water pan in the back there, and that's about it. I'm not even going to worry about putting a probe in right now. It's going to be hours, so maybe in about 4 or 5 hours I'll start putting a probe in 1 or 2 pieces and see where we are. Okay, good night, or good morning, and I'm going to go get my coffee. Bye. Alright, we're at the 8.5 hour mark. Our internal temperature, according to my thermal pro, is around 183 to 185. So I'm going to pull these off and get them wrapped up to do the last 20 degrees or so. And I've been spritzing with some apple cider because I don't have apple juice to keep them somewhat moist during this cook. And I got to tell you, I don't know if it's coming out on video, but they're really dark, got a beautiful, beautiful crust to them. Anyway, next step is get these off of here and inside, wrap them in foil and put them back on. So I'll be back in a bit. Got my probe in one of the tip parts and then one other probe in a flat part, and we'll take these up to where we get about 200, 205. I'll make up my mind then. So we'll be back. Okay folks, it's been 10.5 hours. I just took the temperature about 20 minutes ago. The temperatures of all 4 pieces are around 203 to 205, so time to get these off and in a cooler, and then we'll give it a taste test in about an hour. Okay, here's our 4 pieces of brisket. Point, flat, flat, point. Looks great, smells awesome. Alright, I gotta get my knife and start cutting these now. Okay, let's just get into this. This is one of the pieces of the point, the thickest piece. Take a little slice off of that one. Nearly falling apart. I'll be able to slice it when it gets a little bit cooler. It's still pretty warm. You know what? One of the bad things about cutting a brisket into 4 different pieces and cooking them that way, you have to taste each piece of it. So I got 4 taste tests coming up. Let me show you. Okay, here's that first piece. Give that a taste. I gotta say, that was pretty awesome! Alright, let's get to another piece. Let's try just a little bit of this flat part. It's been in the cooler for about an hour. Took it out, it was still pretty hot. That last bite was still pretty warm. Great flavor. All of them have good smoke all around. You can see that? So I have more surface area that was seasoned with the smoke flavor and makes this easier to vacuum seal and freeze since it's already cut up. And oh, that's got some great color to it. Plenty juicy, lots of flavor. Okay, you know, next brisket, I think I'm going to do this again. Just makes it easier to handle. Actually, more smoke flavor, more seasoning surrounding the edges. So, okay, so this wasn't how to ruin a brisket in 4 easy steps. This is how to make 4 briskets in 1 easy step, or something like that. Anyway, thanks folks. See you next time. Bye-bye.